The day before one of NASCAR's most unpredictable races, Kyle Larson wasn't anywhere near a garage. He wasn't going over setup sheets or walking the high banks of Talladega Superspeedway. Instead, he was standing in an NHRA pit lane at ZMAX Dragway in Charlotte, wearing shorts, surrounded by family, watching Nitro funny cars roar to life during Q1 warm-ups. At one point, Larson even climbed inside one of those machines. Not to drive it, just to feel it run. That alone raises an interesting question. What does a driver use to 900 horsepower think about 11,000? It was Friday, the 25th of April, 2026, less than 24 hours before Larson was expected in Alabama for a NASCAR Cup Series weekend. But instead of preparing for the chaos of Talladega drafting, he chose to spend his afternoon where horsepower hits on a completely different level. Larson showed up like any race fan would, casual, relaxed, and curious. No fire suit, no media obligations, no pressure, just a racer enjoying racing. He walked through pit areas, soaking in the atmosphere, eventually stopping by the John Force Racing camp, where he caught up with Josh Hart and Jack Beckman. If you didn't recognize him, you'd think he was just another fan passing time. Walking beside him, none other than Rick Hendrick, a true car enthusiast, blending right into the NHRA environment. Then came the moment everyone started talking about. Larson and his son climbed into Beckman's peak Chevy funny car, not just for a quick look, but while the engine was actually running. That single image says everything about who Kyle Larson really is. Not just a champion driver, but a genuine fan of the sport. It also highlights something drag racing has always struggled to explain. Television cannot capture what nitro truly feels like. TV can show flames, smoke, and speed. But it can't show the way your chest vibrates from the engine's raw power, or how your eyes sting from nitro fumes in the air. Those sensations, pure sound and physical force, can only be experienced in person. Larson knew exactly what he wanted from the visit. "I'd like to sit in it while it's running. That's about as far as I want to go," he said. "I don't ever want to go down the track. I've sat in J.R. Todd's car before when they fired it up, and it's unreal. The smell, the noise, all of it is just so cool." That statement might be the best marketing NHRA could ask for, because Larson isn't describing something he saw, he's describing something he felt. And that's the key difference. Drag racing demands a live audience. You have to be there to truly understand it. And by simply showing up and putting himself inside that car, Larson made that point without even trying. This wasn't his first connection to the NHRA world either. His friendship with J.R. Todd goes back to 2011, giving him over a decade of exposure to nitro racing. "When you know someone in it, you pay more attention," Larson said. "You become a bigger fan." Growing up in California, Larson regularly attended events at Sonoma Raceway, watching NHRA races long before he became a professional driver. That background makes his appreciation authentic. It's not for show. He also pointed out the natural crossover within motorsports. "It's a small community," Larson explained, "but it's still one big racing family." Eventually, someone asked him the obvious. What would 11,000 horsepower feel like? His response was honest. "I know what 900 feels like, and that's already a beast," he said. "So 11,000? That would be insane." Then came perhaps the most real moment of the day. "There are only a few people who've experienced that," Larson admitted. "But honestly, I'd be scared." And in the nitro world, that kind of honesty earns respect. Fear isn't weakness. It shows you understand just how extreme those machines really are. Larson didn't come alone. He brought family and friends, many experiencing NHRA for the first time. "You don't truly get it on TV," he said. "You have to come here, and once people do, they usually come back." That's the magic of drag racing. After his visit, ZMAX Dragway's official account posted a clip with the caption, maybe just a burnout one day. It's a simple idea, but one fans would love to see: Kyle Larson behind the wheel of a funny car, even if just for a burnout. Now, zoom out for a moment. Larson entered that weekend carrying a 3-4 race winless streak, his longest since joining Hendrick Motorsports in 2021. His last win came at Kansas in May 2025. The new NASCAR format, which emphasizes consistency, hasn't perfectly suited his aggressive style. Mistakes at Atlanta and Darlington cost him heavily, and he currently sits 10th in points, well behind leader Tyler Reddick. At Kansas, he came close to breaking through, making a bold 3-wide move on the final restart, only for Reddick to chase him down and pass him on the last lap. Crew chief Cliff Daniels kept the message simple: learn from it, don't panic, keep building. Meanwhile, Reddick's dominance, 5 wins in 9 races, puts him in historic company alongside legends like Richard Petty, Cale Yarborough, and Dale Earnhardt Sr. And that's the backdrop to Larson's Friday. He wasn't grinding, he wasn't stressing. He was watching drag cars, sitting in one, and sharing that moment with his family because that's what he genuinely wanted to do. Honestly, I get to do stuff like this a lot, Larson said. With my kids racing and going to sprint car events, it's nice, especially being close to home here. That detail says everything. Kyle Larson isn't just a top-level driver, he's a racing fan first. And that's exactly why his visit to ZMAX Dragway didn't feel like a PR stunt. It felt real. Because at the core of every form of motorsport is the same thing: people who are endlessly fascinated by speed, power, and what drivers can do behind the wheel. And on that Friday, Kyle Larson wasn't just a NASCAR champion. He was one of them.